Wednesday night, and guess what? This is Jerry with the calling. How's everybody doing? Alan, are you there?
I am, my pants are just a little too tight tonight. Ugh.
Oh, I think those pants look great.
Oh,
I love that lipstick you're wearing too, Alan.
Thank you. It's Bloody Rouge.
Bloody Rouge.
Yes.
Everything's better when it's bloody.
Oh, isn't it though?
Oh, we're just kidding. This is Emily with Frick and Frack Paranormal.
And I'm Shauna.
I'm here with
Shauna with Geeks Paranormal and Vicky.
Hi, everybody.
We have Jerry and Alan are taking the night off. They're taking a break on this hump day. And
shut up, Jerry.
They have graciously asked us to take over the calling on parax.com. So, Shauna, tell me a little bit about your all's team.
Well, we've been in business for, since 2012. I started off with a totally different group than I have now. Only one person remains. And we weren't kind of known out there because of, I concentrate mostly on the client and what's going on at hand. They get everything up front first, so I don't really push our name out there. But we have been lately because we're trying to get more clientele in. The group now consists of 5 people, 5 full-time members. Me and Vicky are the leaders of it. I'm the founder. Vicky is the historian and case manager and writer. She does a lot of things. Then I have Kelly, Debbie, and Ricky.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So what about you?
Well, I have been on a TV show called The Paranormal Journeys. We getting ready to start our filming season and going to start broadcasting season 5 pretty soon. I've been on season 4. So this will be my second season with them. Neil Williams is our producer director. Then also in the meantime, I've been on several teams throughout the years, but I decided to form my own team called Frick and Frack Paranormal with my best friend Tiffany, which cannot be here tonight.
Aww.
I miss her. I love her. She's such a good person. We are doing a project called the Bony Fiddle Hauntings that is in Portsmouth, Ohio, which deals with a flood that happened in the late 1800s, early 1900s that killed almost 500 people. Lots of murder. I've tied H.H. Holmes to the area that killed a couple prostitutes, Jack the Ripper style. So we're going to do kind of like a mini documentary series on this area, which is about 20 minutes from my home. I live in Ashland, Kentucky. And that and the Paranormal Journeys is really my big paranormal goals for the next year to complete. But I've been doing this for about 18 years total.
Nice.
Lots of EVPs. I'm a big EVP girl. I am not a camera person whatsoever. So for me to be on a TV show is a big deal for me. I do not like cameras. I'd much rather be behind the scenes. That's why the radio is perfect. I love it. Love it. So, but I know that we have several EVPs tonight that we're going to be playing. You all have some awesome EVPs. I do too. What EVPs do you all plan on sharing with us this evening?
Why don't we go ahead and start off with the first one?
Okay. You guys, echo. I think I heard that. You guys, echo. Ooh, what was that?
At the very front, if you listen, because you can hear her and I both echoing on the cam. That was a spirit asking us, what are we doing?
Yeah, I heard like a question in there.
What are you doing? And we didn't hear anything. We just heard the echo going on, and we was just playing off of that.
And you can tell it's not us, or because it's not echoing like we were.
Sarge, do you mind to play that one more time? Oh my gosh. You guys, echo. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah, I heard that right there in the beginning. It's so cool.
And what's funny is I didn't even realize I had that.
Where was that? Where was that EVP taken?
That was actually in Collinsville.
At a private location.
Residential?
Yes.
It was a residential, and we believe that the place was haunted by a mimic demon.
Really?
Yeah.
So this residential case, I mean, were they having problems for a long time, or?
Yeah, well, they were having problems for a little while, and we received a call from Darren Evans asking us to come out and take a look at the property. They were talking about their son losing time and not being able to remember anything that he's done throughout the day and stuff like that. And they said a few things were happening around the house where they would hear something on one side and that person would be actually with them on the other side. So it was a very interesting case.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. That's a really good Class A EVP right there.
Thank you.
Do you have what's the second one that you all want to play, or?
We can go ahead and play it if you want to, Sarge.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, but recordings, and I'll catch on. You know, like she's asked to use his phone, and I'll speak back. Like I'll catch on, and same as with the giggle. No, but recordings, and I'll catch on. You know, like she's asked to use his phone, and I'll speak back. Like I'll catch on, and same as with the giggle.
What was that? I see. Is that somebody in the beginning, and then you all talk, and then you hear something else?
That is the interview with the homeowner, and apparently the entity did not like what she was saying and said liar.
No one heard it.
No one heard it, but it was recorded on three different digis.
So the voice, the voice in the very beginning of it, like that man's
that's
voice.
That's the homeowner, the man.
That's the homeowner.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I heard the little whisper there. I couldn't make out what it said, but I knew that there was something there. But it says liar.
Yes.
Right. Liar.
Right. Sarge, can you play it one more time?
No, but recordings, and I'll catch on. You know, like she's asked to use his phone, and I'll speak back. Like
Oh my
catch
goodness.
on, and same as with the giggle.
That's awesome. Liar.
Oh yeah, it's pretty creepy when we heard it.
That ghost must have been in Pisces, because it's I'm Pisces. I turned 37 yesterday. Friday the 13th, baby. Now listen to this. My birthday party yesterday. Well, my family get together at Texas Roadhouse. I thought I was born at 10:36 p.m., which, you know, that's an hour and a half. My mom had an hour and a half. That's a pretty long time when you're in labor. No, my mom corrected me. I was born at 11:36 p.m. She could have waited another 20 minutes to make it Saturday the 14th. But no, it had to be Friday the 13th at 11:36 p.m. I'm telling you. You know, and she said that her mom, my grandmother, gave her such the hardest time over that, telling her, she goes, hold on, another 20 minutes. She's going to be a cursed baby. That's bad. So, well, I'm not cursed by any means. But if it's going to happen, it's going to happen to me. So, take it how you want to. I don't know what to do about that. I can't help it. I was born at 11:36 p.m. on Friday the 13th.
That's pretty awesome, though.
I know, I guess. I mean, I consider it a holiday. Anytime there's a Friday the 13th, I think we should be off from work on Friday the 13th. I mean, there's one in April.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Love that Friday the 13th.
Right.
We need to binge watch every horror movie that there is. Oh, speaking of horror movies, what's your scariest movie that you ever watched?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, wow. I mean, like, horror movies really don't scare me. I think they're kind of funny, so. I mean, back when I was like 5, there was one that I watched. I can't think of the name of it, but there was like a wicked Indian medicine man with that grew a hump on the lady's neck, and ugh. That one kind of creeped me out for a while, but I was like 5. So, what are you gonna do, right?
I liked Mama. Mama was a pretty good horror story. It had a good
Mama
storyline.
was scary.
Right.
That was really, it was so sad.
Well, my scariest, which the second one's coming out, I think it might have already be out, but Strangers. And then this Strangers too.
Is it Stranger Things or
Theory is
Stranger
that
Things is a TV show.
the TV
no,
show?
The Strangers.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
No, the movie has Liv Tyler in it, and it's based off the true story. And I think what made it so scary is because there is no background music in that hardly. And I'm telling you, I try to watch it here at home by myself, and I was jumping up and down in my living room trying to watch this thing. And I'd run out and come back in, run out and come back in. I cannot watch that movie to this day by myself. But Strangers 2 is coming out. I don't know if it's already come out or not, but if it's not, it's probably the next week or two. And it's supposed to be based off the Manson murders.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Helter Skelter and all that. And Charles Manson, guess what? He's from my hometown.
Oh, wow.
Ashland, Kentucky.
That is kind of cool.
That's cool.
I know. So,
We got-
it's pretty interesting. We have Billy Ray Cyrus.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Charles Manson.
Quite a combo.
Well, on the Charles Manson note, how many more do we
Tracy
have?
Hart.
Do we have a couple more EVPs we need to?
We have like 2.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go ahead and go with the third one.
Okay.
Help me.
Help me. 2. It was Help Me Too.
Hold on. Where is this taken at?
Same place.
What
Same
location?
place. Same location.
Same place? Okay.
Yes, we got some of the best EVPs from that location. It is not even funny.
Some of the creepiest
Sarge,
ones too.
Sarge, if you don't mind, play that one more time.
It's like it was.
I can hear the ends part of that. It might be because of how I'm trying to listen. I can hear 2. I can hear 2.
Yeah, it says Help Me Too. It's like it's trying to tell us what to help them with, but it never finished.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really rather interesting. I don't even remember what we were doing at that time.
Right. I mean, this is
Almost a year ago.
and right afterwards we end up getting another, and I don't know if we sent that one or not, but we end up getting another EVP where they were mocking that one, where they were like overlapping each other and saying, "Help me, help me, help me, help me," but it was like a mockery.
It was like a
came
bunch of them.
Yes, it was like a bunch, like at least 4.
So you heard like 4 different voices.
Yeah.
And they're coming in like, help me, help me, help me, help me. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't.
So is it where is this location at? Is this like in Oklahoma where you are from?
Yes.
It is in Oklahoma. It's pretty much between here and Tulsa.
Okay.
We're in
So-
Bartlesville.
Now where are you all from? What town are you all from?
Well, I'm from Dothan, Alabama.
We're
Alabama.
in Bartlesville right now.
But yeah, we're in Bartlesville, Oklahoma right now.
Okay. All right. So how far? So it's in between you all and then Tulsa.
Yeah, it's about 24, 25 minutes.
It's about halfway too,
Yeah.
because between Bartlesville and Tulsa is like an hour, and it's about halfway, 30 minutes.
Is this place one of your most haunted locations that you all investigated?
Not
No.
really, no. We
How about
have
residential? Most haunted residential.
just most haunted residential.
Maybe.
Probably
I mean,
the most haunted residential location.
in
yeah,
this state, anyways.
that we've done so far.
Uh-huh.
Now we've done a commercial one out in Arkansas that was pretty good. It was a TB hospital. I can't say the name of the hospital, but it's a TB hospital from back in the early 1900s, and it was really creepy. Loved it.
Something about them TB hospitals. I mean, Waverly here in Kentucky. I tell you, I have never been to Waverly. I've never been. I don't feel drawn to that, but maybe one day I'll go.
Yeah.
One day I'll go. I don't know. I don't know. I've only location I've felt drawn to that's a large location or famously known to be haunted is the Stanley Hotel, which unfortunately I'm not playing any EVPs from there tonight. Sorry, y'all. But I love the Stanley. I've been there 4 times. I've investigated it twice. It's an amazing place.
I would
place.
love
But
to go.
the Waverly TB hospitals, something about the hospitals, that a lot of death occurs and a lot of other emotional things go on there that leave marks for lifetimes, after lifetime, after death, for hundreds of years.
There is one. Oh, you're fine. There is one north of us that we would love to go to. It's the Missouri State Penitentiary.
Yes,
and I have been drawn to that for years, but I have not been able to get up there.
That is on our to-do list. Our bucket.
You know what's on my to-do list, too? My to-do list? The Black Dahlia House. You all know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Listen to me.
Yes.
I cannot watch episodes. Like, it's on Ghost Hunters or
Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters.
Listen, for some reason, when these shows come on, I want to watch. I cannot watch it with the lights off. I have to turn the light on to watch these shows. And then, I don't know, there's a little bit part of me that is like, I have a gift of discernment. I feel like if I ever visited this location, if I just put my hand on the wall, I will see something for some reason. Oh no, Vicky.
Don't steal it. Yeah, I want to. I love watching that too. I like watching them in the dark. I guess
I watch everything in the dark except for that, the Black Dahlia. There's something about her. There's something about that house, that doctor's house, and something. But like, I just feel like if I ever visited there, if I have a gift of discernment, so I feel like if I put my hand, for some reason, I could be wrong if I ever get there. But for some reason, I feel like if I put my hand on the wall of that house, there's a main hall in that house. If I put my hand on that wall, I'm going to see something. And I almost want to see, like, she's running. There's black hair. But I don't know for sure until I get there and put my hand. Now, if that ever happens, I highly doubt it. I don't know. It's always in California.
I know. Well, one of these days we're planning on travel, because we travel to the locations if we've got the money at the time to travel to these locations. Like, we've been invited overseas to the UK, and we've been invited to Ohio and Iowa. We just gotta get the money to get.
Ohio's over by me.
Yeah, straight up.
We need to do a road trip.
Yes.
And do everything live.
Yes,
that'd be fun.
That would be fun. That would be fun. I would love to do the Stanley. I still want to do the Stanley Hotel.
Well, we'll do the Stanley one day. Soon.
We probably should get on to this next EVP.
Okay. All right. Go to the other EVP.
That was it. That was the 3 or 4 entities saying, "Help me, help me, help me."
I thought that's what that was, but I couldn't really tell. I thought that's what it was. I was waiting for you to tell me. Y'all listening by radio and stuff. We're doing this by Skype, so we can see each other. And so I'm waiting for Shauna to react. And I'm like, I'm thinking that's what it said, but I was waiting for her. Yeah, I heard "help me" twice.
Mm-hmm.
But I was, seeing if that's what you all were going to say. That's a good one. That's a good one. Sarge, play that one more time, because that's like 3-4 things saying, "Help me, help me, help me." Oh my gosh, that's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
That
is very creepy.
Did you ever get names or anything out of that investigation?
No, she got images of a girl, and I went live at one point in time and got our witch on there, and he was confirming what she was saying about this. He felt like there was this teenage girl there, and oh gosh, she was going.
She had like a mark. I kept seeing a mark on her face. And so when I did the history, now there was somebody that was killed. What the hell are you?
Go ahead.
There was something. Sorry. There was somebody that was killed somewhere in that area that her body was just found on the road, and they didn't know why she was dead. or what happened, and she had a mark on her face, and that was the only mark that she had.
She was a teenager that got killed?
Mm-hmm. And that was
Was she murdered, or what? I mean, obviously she's killed, but was she hit by a car, or?
They never, it's an unsolved.
It's an unsolved case,
really?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
There's one speculation is that the boyfriend may have did it, and then there's others that...
that she just,
walked in front of a car.
Or she jumped out of a vehicle and it was on her own accord. But there's a lot of speculations, no
actual proof.
No actual proof of anything. So, but both me and Dustin, at different times, not talking to each other, confirmed a young teenager with a mark on their face.
Yeah, she was walking with me around the house and telling me what she was seeing and everything, and then I went live with Dustin, and I was away from her. I was outside talking, and he just said the same thing she did, and it was like, oh my God.
So the people that lived in this house, have they lived there for a long time, or?
No, not really. I don't even think it was a whole year. They had just gotten the place pretty much. So.
I asked a lot of questions. I'm sorry.
Oh no, fine.
Did they talk to the previous homeowners? Did they have problems there too? Or?
Now, this is the weird part about this land is that there was gaps of time where nobody owned the land at all for a huge amount of time. And there was also the weird part. Ooh, should I tell them or should I leave it for the show? We're gonna leave that for our show because we are gonna put a show out.
Vicky, you're not doing this to me. That's not right.
We'll tell you behind the scenes.
Yeah, we'll tell you behind the scenes, honey. But
whatever. I have secrets too.
There is definitely a good reason to watch the show.
Yes, good reason or good reason.
Shauna, I will tell you some secrets, but Vicky can't hear. Okay? All right? Vicky is not allowed.
She'll tell me.
That says, no, Vicky's allowed.
She will tell me so
kind
bad.
of like no boys allowed. No Vicky's allowed.
I get in everywhere.
Vicky,
that
I
sounded
cannot
wrong.
believe. I thought we bonded.
We're like sisters.
So many times over the last couple weeks. I thought we bonded.
We have, you know what? The last couple of weeks have been great. I mean, just getting to know you and talking to you. It's been awesome.
You, Emily.
Well, listen, everybody that's listening, we have done a lot of Skype behind the scenes because this is the first time that we've come together and we've taken over the calling. Jerry and Alan has a night off, and it has been a lot of fun. That's for sure. And we've had a lot of laughs. And but we do have some more EVPs, I believe, right? How many more do you all have?
From you, I believe, because I think we've already played all ours, haven't we?
From me?
Yeah, from you.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, let's do me.
Or do you want to wait?
Let's do my EVPs.
Or do you want to wait until after we come back from?
Yeah, let's come back from the break.
Well, we got
5 minutes.
We got 5 minutes, so we'll chit chat. We'll chit chat about what's going on.
Okay.
So
ask me a question.
So you said you've been involved in the paranormal for almost 20 years, and you've been on the paranormal journey for about, you said 2 years? This is your second year?
2 years into 3 years. This is my second season.
So how did you get onto the paranormal journeys?
Oh my goodness. Well, it is, I guess, for the first time in my life, since I was born on Friday the 13th, I was at the right place at the right time. And I was in Tennessee and ran into Neil, the producer, and it was, I don't know, we just started talking about paranormal stuff, and everything just fell into place, and he was like, well, I do this show. I thought it was BS. and everything. And I was like, well, you can look me up on Facebook. Here's my name, So, a couple days had passed, and he found me on Facebook, and he sent me messages and things, and I was the residential paranormal investigator for a home here in Ashland, Kentucky called the Seton Manor. And I was doing a bunch of events there with a psychic, which is one of my friends. She's amazing. Her name is Samara Shepherd. And I thought, you know what, we'll just start. I'll invite these people up, and we'll do a show here. He asked me to be on the show. I didn't confirm it until I got to know the people that were on there. And Tim Peck, we've been on the calling twice now. Tim is one of my co-cast members, and he's amazing. And I ended up getting along with everybody on the team. We all meshed well. It all fit in perfectly. So for the first time in my life, I was at the right time, at the right place. Did I say that backwards? Yeah. At the right place, at the right time. And I will blame that on Franzia, my fruity red sangria boxed wine. I do not go wrong. Boxed wine.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Oh, yes, you can. I am proof of that a couple of weekends ago. Woo! No more of that.
I remember that weekend.
Oh, you all love it.
Oh, we had a blast, but let me tell you, there was pictures on our phones. That
About 40 pictures.
No idea was there.
Don't remember taking them.
And this is on our Skype chat with Emily, guys. So those of you listening, it's Emily's fault.
Yeah, we're blaming Emily.
Oh, it's my fault. You know what? I will take the blame for that. I think it's good. I think it's a good thing.
Well, that was a good time. I mean,
Well,
we had a
remember
blast.
of it.
Yeah.
We try to do Facebook Live. It might be a good thing that didn't work out.
Oh, well, we got 3 videos up on our Geeks page that we had to take down.
I took mine down too.
Well, we were looking at that going, no, that should not be there.
No.
Let's take this down. Let's take this. Actually, I didn't even watch them. I asked Vicky, I said, so those videos on the Geeks page.
I was like, no.
And she was like, take them down.
But I went back in like the next morning. I'm like, what did I do?
So,
oh my goodness.
how long did we do those
EVPs? And I took them down.
How long did we do that EVP session for? Was it like a couple of hours or?
Oh, no, that was a different night.
That was a different night.
Oh, that was a different night. No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Oh my gosh, Drew.
Yes, it was.
It was a different
She
night.
had too much boxed wine.
So were we talking to Jerry that night?
Oh Lord.
Earlier?
Help her.
Oh no, that was the night he was on his
Yeah.
that was the night he was at his little anniversary thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it the anniversary thing for the Skype?
Right.
EVP?
That's when we did that.
The night that we
That was the
all
weekend
Facebook
before.
Stuff, that was when Jerry had the migraine.
Oh yeah, we kept calling.
We kept calling Jerry. He kept answering. Jerry don't have to answer anymore.
You know, I think there was a paranormal occurrence that happened during that time.
We were out of body, out of mind.
Probably was. But yeah, that was some good times. Good times. And if you guys hear anything on in this particular episode, it's either probably from our room because there's a little mister that's here and he's still here. So if you hear not the barking,
that's my dog. I'm so sorry. They're usually really good.
But if you hear anything, it's probably from here. All right, guys.
Okay. We're getting ready to go on break. It's been fun. When we come back, we'll be talking about my EVPs from the Leroy Hay House in Grayson, Kentucky.
Woo!
Woo-woo!
And we're back.
Woo! Yay! Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're having fun listening to our little conversations and our EVPs. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them over in the chat room over at para-x .com. And they'll be able to we'll be able to see your questions and be able to answer them for you. Also, make sure you go to thecallingradioshow.com, look at that website, and you'll be able to see a list of the previous radio shows they had. And you can go to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/geeksparanormal, or our Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/geeksparanormal. And Emily's Facebook page and all that.
My Facebook page is www.facebook.com/paranormalff for Frick and Frack. And I'll also have SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Frick and Frack Paranormal, and is spelled out AND. And the EVPs that I'll be playing this evening, you can also go onto SoundCloud and listen to them and download them for yourself.
Yeah. We have a lot of them, so we need to hurry up and get on those.
We're going. It's 8:35. Woo! Okay. Sarge, if you want to, well, actually, let me talk about this place real fast. This place I investigated February 2017. It's a residential location. It's called the Leroy Hay House because Leroy Hay built this house. He passed away, I believe, in 2009. So it's a newer home. It's not an old home. It's 6,000 square feet underground, meaning that the farther you go into the house, the more it's like a cave. You turn off the lights, there is no, what are you doing? There is no, I can't look at Shauna right now. There is no light whatsoever in this home. The Leroy Hay was a man that worked for the government. He deciphered signals for the government. His work room probably had at least 30 monitors in there. The house was kind of built like the Winchester house. It had 5 doors to one room. You can open up one room and one door and it's a wall. Or you can open up one door and you may walk into another room. You have no idea where you're going in this home. It's very interesting. I have posted all these on my SoundCloud, and I've mentioned some things on my Instagram, Frick and Frack Paranormal. But it's my first time ever in 18 years. Now listen, I have seen shadow figures. I have seen some things in the spiritual realm that you all would think that I'm crazy. But this is the all in all gold medal, 5 stars, whatever you want to call it. Saw my first full body apparition in this location. I was the only one in the home at the time too. But the individuals that lived there at the time was the longest people that ever lived in the house since Leroy Hay's wife moved out. She tried to sell the home, couldn't sell it, so she put it up for rent. This family, the Campbells, lived there the longest for almost a year, and the last month that they stayed there, they were staying in a hotel room. So Sarge, if you want to play the first one, I don't know which one you're going to play, just go ahead and play it, and I'll talk about it. I'm sorry, Sarge, I did not hear that. Okay, I heard it. It says, "It was me." Now, what this is, there's a longer version, which I'll have Sarge play here in a second. I saw this full body apparition. I was in the dining room, what they call the dining room of the home. It walked past the dining room door. He had a red hat on, a red shirt, jeans, and he walked all the way down the hallway. I walked out into the hallway, and I saw this man walk, still continuing to walk all the way down the hallway, and then he turned right into this room. The longer version I have that Sarge is going to play here in a second, you will hear me describe, trying to figure out, because as an investigator, I always try to debunk before I say it's paranormal. So I'm trying to figure out, by any means, is that my shadow, which was stupid, but I did. I tried. And you'll hear me walking. You'll hear me say, "Is that my shadow?" And then you'll hear the EVP that says, "It was me." So I need to make sure that wasn't my shadow. saw somebody plain as day that went down that way. I didn't make sure that wasn't my shadow. I saw somebody plain as day that went down that way. And Sarge, I'm going to ask you to play it one more time, but here in a second. You'll hear me say, let me make sure it wasn't my shadow. You'll hear me walk, 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 walk.
Mm-hmm.
Right before I say, I saw someone plain as day, you'll hear,
it was me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Play it one more time, Sarge. Let me make sure that wasn't my shadow.
Yep.
I'm telling you, listen to me, y'all. I saw somebody plain as day. Let the homeowners down that way. Let me make sure. Sorry. Listen, y'all, I cried over that. I did not let the homeowners know that I saw the apparition because they were already scared as it was. But I went home and I thought I was so honored that I saw a full body apparition, red shirt, red hat, jeans, walk past the doorway. Then I walked out in the hallway and I saw him walk all the way down the hallway and turn right. And then I'm talking about it, and then I have an EVP saying that was me. So, okay. Well, same location, Leroy Hay House in Grayson, Kentucky. There is animal spirits too. I believe in them. I believe that they show up in EVPs. This was during the walkthrough of the home, and I'm talking to the homeowners. And I capture a cat on EVP, and I use my headphones when I do walkthroughs, and I'm really good at detecting a voice. At this time, I did not hear this cat whatsoever. So, Sarge, if you want to play the next EVP. And play it one more time. That was a cat that was meowing, purring, something. But there's no animals in this house. This house is pretty much almost empty because the homeowners are moving out. Later on in that night, I did not capture that EVP. I did not mark it. This is just me going through my audio. Well, later on that evening, I had Blake and his sister. We were in the main room of the home, which they say that they had church there is what they called it. But this gentleman that lived here, he was ranked 33rd in Masons, which is interesting to me because a lot of my paranormal places that I've investigated has been linked to Masons. But we're in there, and we asked, the room is really big. I can't even tell you how many square feet it is, but it's huge. There's nothing else in the room. It's completely black. We're underground. And I hear something move there. And I asked for something to come forward. And all three of us that were in that room saw a gray object close to the floor. Now, this doesn't have an EVP in it, but this is just us describing like an animal running toward this. So after I reviewed everything and heard the cat, I think that there's a cat that's in this house that's haunting this place. Also, not just human, but it's animal spirits as well. So, Sergeant, if you just want to play what I have there about us describing the animal running up towards us, that would be great.
That was right here.
I know, it was like close to the ground.
Yeah, like it was like.
It was like, it looked like a animal almost running up to us.
Yeah. That was right.
I know, it was like close to the ground.
Yeah, like it was like.
It was like, it looked like a animal almost running up to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, I didn't even hear the cat EVP until after I got home and reviewed all of my EVPs. So it kind of made perfect sense to hear the cat, and then we saw this gray. It was almost solid, you all, but it was still misty looking. But it was like, I don't remember seeing through it, but the house, it's underground, so you've been to a cave where they turn off the lights and see if you can have your hand in front of you. That's how this house was. And it was completely black. But this thing, it was like almost like it lit up, and it was gray, and it scurried like, it came to us, and we were like, and then we were talking about it. I have another, I didn't send it to Sarge, unfortunately, but I have a reaction to us seeing that. And then we started describing, like, it looked like an animal running up towards us. So I think there's a cat there too. Leroy Hay House is amazing. I have not got to go back to that house whatsoever. Unfortunately, there's no one that lives there now. They've tried to rent it out to other people. They've tried to sell this house. Leroy Hay's wife actually lives in Hawaii, lucky her. But it's no one's there now. I tried to get our team to go in there to film an episode of the Paranormal Journeys, but from where the Campbells were living there and they were moving out, they were living in a hotel the last month they lived there. It was very short time frame, and we couldn't get everybody together, unfortunately. But I will be back in that house one day. I saw my first full body apparition there. I got to go back in there.
Definitely.
I swear. Yeah.
How many more do you got? Are the rest of them from the same place, or?
No. The other one I sent to Sarge was us on our Skype.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. Everybody, we have Skyped a lot over the last couple of weeks, and it has been so much fun. And
yes.
last Friday, we just got to Skype, and we Skyped with my good friend David Pierce Rodriguez with Prism Paranormal. He's from Miami, and we started doing some EVP sessions. I do have a spirit that follows me sometimes. His name is Robert. He comes from the Seton House, and also there's some other things that's happened here lately that has been going on with me personally and with a friend that had passed. But the EVP that we captured that night, Robert had come through, which I did not send to Sarge, but the first EVP I got with a British accent. Now, you all might not think it's British.
Oh, I heard it. It's British.
It is British? You think it's British, Shauna?
Oh, yeah.
British.
And it's plain as day. It sounds like somebody is right there in the room with you.
It says, I love you. I died. I love you. And it's the very first. You have to listen to it. It's right there in the beginning of this EVP that Sarge is going to play. And I'm so glad that we captured. We have so many EVPs, y'all, from this Skype conversation, we did it for like 20, 30 minutes. I can't even tell you. David got EVPs. You all got EVPs. I got EVPs. I mean, this might be something in the near future that we do live Skype EVP sessions.
Yeah.
Because
it'd be a lot of fun.
I swear, if we put it in right then and started playing them back, we'd get them right there, right on air, live.
Yep.
So this one is a British accent. It says, I died now. I love you. So, Sarge, if you want to play that. I died now. I love you. Do you have a message for Emily?
Yeah.
One more time, Sarge. I died now. I love you.
Oh my gosh. I heard that and I was like,
that's my love.
oh.
That's my love. All the people that love me are dead.
That's not true. We love you and we're alive.
Wait. I am not claiming love to her because then I'll die. Just kidding.
No, we do not do that. I love you all. I'm so happy that Jerry is a Match.comer.
Yeah, it's a Para-X
Jerry,
love match.
Jerry Tinder swipe. He Tinder swipe. He's paranormal, and he Tinder swiped Frick and Frack Paranormal. That's what he did. It's the best matchup I've ever had in my life.
Yes, it's
and
great.
I it all to Jerry.
Oh, yay, Jerry.
Jerry.
Are there more EVPs, Jerry or Sarge? Yes. Okay. What are the next one?
That's the I died.
Okay, that's the same one. Did you resend them like double them?
No. Well, I guess first go around, so I resent EVPs again.
Oh
To make
no,
sure
that's
they got it.
right.
And I saved them in MP3 format, so
Well,
I
let's
don't
see.
know if that's what.
Well, let's see what the next one is. Maybe the next one's different. Nope.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, we know he's British, and if they haven't heard it yet, they've heard it now. What's the next one?
It's the same one I mentioned.
Okay, what is the next?
We're waiting on the next one. Waiting on the next one. Play the Jeopardy theme. Da, 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 da.
Oh, I can do it.
Oh, no more. Okay. So.
That's my beatbox.
No, I can't do that.
I used to be a mean beatboxer back in the day.
So,
Some 80s rap.
you say that you can feel people. Do you and you see them? Can you feel them often, or is it something that you have to actually physically touch to be able to feel something or see something?
It's not necessarily people that I feel. I have the discernment of spirit. I don't discern people. There's a difference there. I have seen things over the years in church, outside of church, in houses, and a long time ago when I was young, I would pray against this gift because some of it is outlandish and it was kind of creepy, and I thought people would think that I was crazy. But then there was a period of time where I prayed against it, and I didn't see anything for years, probably 10 years.
Oh wow!
And then the last 3 to 4 years now, I've always captured EVP, no matter what. I'm a big EVP person. I like to do voice analysts and things. But over the last 3 to 4 years, I've started to pray to start seeing some of that things back. I see a lot of stuff that I almost want to relate to Indian, maybe spiritual things. In the Seton house, in the basement, there was a figure that I saw down there. It was actually built on top of the Adena burial grounds, which we still have some existing in the Central Park, which is about 3 blocks down from the Seton. I saw a blue, it was bright blue, white figure that hunkered, like had a hunchback to it, but it took off running, and it spread its wings like a hawk looking thing, and
wow.
and then it just disappeared. I relate that to Indian. I don't know. I've seen a lot of dark shadow figures throughout the years. Now, if I do see somebody, like the full apparition that I talk about at the Leroy Hay House, for me to say that's the first time I saw this full apparition, I saw it more than 10 seconds. You know, it wasn't just a flash in my head or something that I saw just a glimpse of. This was a person that I saw head to toe, except for shoes, walked past the door, and then kept on walking after I walked out into the hallway, and then he walked all the way down that hallway to the right. And this place is black, like
wow.
a cave. So I saw that person, and he disappeared. Now, at the Seton house, I saw a person, but it was just it's Mr. Seton is who he was. And Samra would always say that Mr. Seton had a crush on me. And I was upstairs. He passed away in what we call the Red Room. I was upstairs. We were doing a paranormal event, and these people were in the room doing an EVP session. Well, my son was sick at the time, and I was out in the hallway. It's dark. It's really dark. And I'm checking my phone because my ex-husband is texting me about our son. And I look up, and I look into the Red Room, and I see a guy bent over, like peeking out the room with the top hat on and everything. Like just for a second. Just for a second. And Samra came out, and she said, Mr. Seton's worried about you. And I said, he is. She's like, yes, he's worried about your son. He's checking in on you. I said, is he in the Red Room? And she said, yes, he has his top hat on and everything.
Wow.
And I saw him.
She can see things like this last investigation we did in Collinsville. We had an image that I took of the kitchen area. And go ahead, tell it.
Yeah. When I was looking through the still pictures, I saw a little demon, like, literally turn and look at me on the stilled picture that we were looking at. So, and then, I'm like, oh, I got a little startled about it, and I kind of like, oh, in the name of Jesus, go away. But then I thought about it, I sent it to her. But the time I got to her, it was gone.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. And so, but she can, like, there's been times where I have asked her to look at an image or look at something, and she'll sit there and tell me, well, this is what's going on in this area, and this is what's going on here. And I'm like, okay, you're not allowed to go on any tours before we do an investigation because I want what you see after the tour. So you are to sit in the van until then, until further notice. So I don't even tell her what's going on. I just say, we're going to this place. You'll do a walkthrough, and then we'll do the investigation.
Which, ironically, I'm the historian, so after we do it, then I have to go do instead of preparing before, I have to wait until after because I'm the historian, but I'm also the one that can sense where things are and.
I do a little bit of research before.
I love history. I'm a big history person. I will research anything out. I mean, you can ask Tiffany. You can ask the people on the Paranormal Journeys. You can ask David. I telling you, you give me a location, I will. I'm a stalkerish. Kind of creeper.
It's the only way you can be if you're gonna study something. I will go all the way back to like the 1800s. And get the research for it, yeah.
Gilded America time frame from I'll go further than this, but from 1876 to 1902, if there was a past life, if there's past life, I believe I lived there in that time era. I probably have a minor from college in Gilded America. I took 4 or 5 classes in that area. And I'm telling you, America was bad. Well, I can't say the last part of that, but they were
Maximus.
The glutes.
It's a bad glute.
Bad. But I love that time frame when we're expanding. That's H.H. Holmes, Jack the Ripper. Haymarket bombing.
Some of the most famous.
Expansion to the west. A lot. Civil War. That's when the Ouija board was created.
Oh, yeah.
The Ouija board was created back then. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, I love that time frame. And I will research as far back as that or further if I can still continue to find information on wherever I might be. But a lot of the houses and locations that I go to seem to be built from the 1880s. Like Stanley Hotel opened in 1909.
Oh, I know.
It's like the Seton Manor is 1885. And the Leroy Hay House that I spoke about tonight, though, was built in in 2002. Like, it's a very modern home considering the fact. And so for me to be something, it was kind of awkward for me to be something that's like been built within the last 15, 20 years when I did the Leroy Hay House. So, okay, we have a question in the chat room from Travis. Do you believe in research of an area before you investigate? Do you believe in thorough research of an area before you investigate?
No.
Go, Shauna.
The reason why is because I have a sensitive on my team. And I have somebody that can see into the area. I don't want her to get any kind of influence from what we research. I will do research personally.
But she doesn't share the information with me because I have to be fresh.
So what about you, Viv?
All right. Skin surface. I will take what the homeowner or the location, the people that and take it in quickly. And then I will do my investigation 2 to 3 hours, and then I will do research after that to see if anything matches up from my investigation. But other than that, I don't do thorough research until after everything's said and done. And but I am kind of sensitive too, so I understand where you don't want to know everything.
Yes.
When you first go in. But it looks like this hour must be.
My gosh, so fast! so fast. Oh my
It
gosh.
is so fast. I wish there's some more things going on in the chat room, but we do not have time to answer those.
No, it will be on YouTube though. It will be on my
We'll
YouTube.
be on YouTube. We'll be on YouTube. Catch us on Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, Twitter. Tweet us.
The Calling, radioshow.com, para-x.com.
We want to say super, super thank you to Jerry, the matchmaker.
Yes.
I'm telling you, he needs to do a lot more matchmaking in the paranormal realm.
Thank you, Jerry.
We want to say super, super, super thank you to Para-X for trusting Geeks Paranormal and Frick and Frack Paranormal to take over the Calling, which has a lot of followers, for an hour.
And we want to thank Sarge. We want to thank Sarge so much for letting us do this.
Sexy Sarge.
Sexy Sarge.
I mean, I think he should have his own radio show. He has a good voice. He's like, I'm Sarge. He is awesome. Thank you, Sarge, for playing all the EVPs tonight. We want to thank you to everybody that listened this evening. We hope to be back on in the near future. We love you all. Happy Ghost Hunt.
Good evening.